Hi Pre-K, this is Miss Baker and this is Sebastian and the Dragon. The author is Maxine W. Cumin and the illustrator is William D. Hayes. Sebastian John Alexander Brown was the littlest boy in his hometown, was the shortest boy in his class, grade 3, was the youngest one in his family, and it often seemed to Sebastian John that he was rather looked down upon. He wiggled his muscles, he stretched up straight, he ate all the vegetables on his plate. And of course he grew, but so did the others. He still was shorter than all of his brothers. And people expected because he was small that he couldn't do things you do when you're tall. One year the town made plans for a zoo. They needed cages and animals too, and they offered a prize for the rarest beast captured alive in the west or the east. The things people brought them: lions and foxes, zebras and ostriches, turtles in boxes, elephants, camels, and leopards as mean as leopards can be, and laughing hyenas. But Sebastian had other ideas. He thought of an animal rarely, if ever, caught. So he borrowed a map and a covered wagon and set out alone to capture a dragon. A dragon with fire in his nose and eyes, glowing like coals, should win the prize. He crossed a river and climbed a mountain and stopped to drink at a water fountain. But he worried a little how he would convince a dragon to come to the zoo with him, since the only gun that he had on his trip was a water pistol he shot from the hip. His aim was exact, he was quick on the draw, and he squirted a rabbit or two that he saw. But he missed a slow skunk and a sleepy old moose. Oh dear, thought Sebastian, whatever's the use? It was getting dark. He wanted to cry, but he suddenly saw a cave nearby, and he took his gun and he crawled in deep and he said his prayers and went to sleep. Too tired to eat, too frightened to care, Sebastian dozed in his cozy lair. Now the night was cold, but Sebastian kept getting warmer and warmer while he slept, till he finally woke and got to his feet to see what was causing the terrible heat. And there in a corner, smoldering sadly, sat a young dragon coughing badly. He wasn't full grown. It was easy to see that he was the smallest in his family. His eyes were two coals, his nose snorted fire. Sebastian's hopes soared higher and higher. Here was his prize, so beautifully rare. What should he say? Should he shoot? Did he dare? Hello, wheezed the dragon. Who are you? But first, have you any water to put out my thirst? I'm dry and I'm roasted. I hate breathing fire. Besides, it always makes me perspire. My name is Sebastian, Sebastian said. I have just the thing to cool your poor head. And he pulled out his pistol and squirted a shot all around where the dragon was fiery hot. He cooled off his nose and he shot him a sip straight into his mouth on the mark from the hip. And they curled up together and talked until dawn about being small and looked down upon, about breathing fire and life in a cave, about being smallest yet terribly brave. Sebastian explained how he wanted the prize and squirted the dragon again, chin to eyes, and promised him water the rest of his days if he would come live in the zoo and just blaze once an hour on weekdays from 9 until 4. I'll do it, the dragon said. What is more, Sebastian John Alexander Brown, you'll be a hero in your hometown. So Sebastian said, climb into the wagon, and they started back home, the boy and the dragon. When they got to the zoo, the people all cried, "Sebastian Brown, what is that inside?" "Just a dragon," Sebastian said, "that's all. Of course, for his age, he's a little small. Of course, he flames at the nose and the eyes, but you may not want him because of his size." "Not want him? He's beautiful," everyone shouted. "Sebastian Brown, there's no doubt about it. You've made our zoo an enormous success by catching this beast in the wilderness." "And the prize, Sebastian, we have for you is you are the president of our zoo. You take the tickets, you are the boss. You open the gates for people to cross." And they gave him a uniform, royal blue, with gold braid and buttons, and a gold hat too. And Sebastian John and his dragon friend lived happily there forever. The end.